Hey everybody, let's finish up the Hell House LLC franchise with the third film and final one in the franchise, Hell House LLC 3 Lake of Fire from 2019. Also a Shudder exclusive at the time. We have director Steve Cognetti back, who also wrote all three of these films. And I read an interview with him before I watched this third one that he pretty much planned and wrote this whole three films like at the same time, so he knew where he was going with the story from the very beginning to the end of this film. And it's basically just three films that are cut up into three acts that you can just splice together basically. I don't have a lot to say about this, so we'll just finish this up quick. Starring again, nobody. We have Andrew Tully's character, the actor who played him in the last movie, who I said I really enjoyed his performance at the end of the last film. So it's cool to see him again. So it starts 9 years after the Hell House tragedy, and the abaddon was basically planned on being demolished. And then we have Russell Wynn, who was a billionaire who ended up buying it, and they ended up not tearing it down. So we have this cute, very cute journalist and documentarian, and she's also the new host of the morning mystery show from the last film, which we don't know what happened to the host from the last one and why she's not the host anymore, but Vanessa takes over for her for some reason. And Vanessa's cameraman, Louis, and they are basically tasked to film the entire play that Russell Wynn is putting on at this hotel. It's like a interactive immersive theater type thing called Insomnia, based on Faust. I'm not into plays. Like, you'd have to stun gun me to get me to a play. Like, I'm not interested. Like, just plays are just not my thing. So I mean, I don't know. I know the Faust is about like the deal with the devil and like the battle of good versus evil and God versus the devil, which plays into the movie and the themes that go on in here, but this movie's not good. It's just not. Like, what a disappointing ending to this franchise. But let's see here. We have like 7 minutes worth of clips from the first two films in the very beginning of this movie, and this movie's only like an hour and 20 minutes. So I mean, you can tell the budget was just so much lower than even the last one, which was a Shudder exclusive too. That one looked fine to me. I mean, you can tell the budget was lower than the first film, but nothing like how low the budget is for this movie. And it makes sense because literally like a third of this movie is just clips from the first two films. Like, seriously, like a third of this movie, at least a quarter, if not a full third of this movie, is just clips from the first and second film. So basically this film's like fucking like, I don't know, 50 minutes long or something like that, like with original footage. Yeah, it's not good. So let's see, she's out of that, yep. So knowing the history of the hotel, Russell Wynn just continues on with planning for his opening night for Insomnia for his play. And despite all the continuing supernatural stuff that keeps starting to happen leading up to opening night, just like the first film. This film was also like filmed as a faux documentary, just like the first movie. So this, like I said, the second one was more of like a straight up found footage movie. So this one returns to the style of the first one. Not a lot to say about this movie, really. I like Harvey, the like head of artistic operations. He's funny. He has a few funny lines in this. The rest of the theater people and stuff, just a bunch of entitled, annoying pricks and prickettes that just I couldn't tell you a name of anybody in this movie, except for, you know, Russell and his manager and that guy Harvey and Vanessa and her camera person. That's basically it. All the actors for the theater show and everything, could not tell you, nor do I care. I'm telling that. So we have a shot of a ghost being picked up on Vanessa's camera's footage that they were filming and everything. She ends up handing out cameras to all the actors and actresses and tell them to film whatever they want, and just, you know, with little video diaries if they want, and basically just film any chance that they get. And she tries giving the camera to Russell and to Jeff, the manager, but Jeff says he needs his hands free, and Russell is like, I'm not a camera person, I'm not going to use it. So then we get a priest who's interviewed by Vanessa about the gateway to hell and everything that she's heard about it from the Hell House documentary, and the people from the last film, the journalist crew and everything, and Mitchell are still missing, and no one knows what happened to them. Then we have Russell and Vanessa walk through a near Old By fairground or something like that, and she was looking this up earlier in the movie when she says that Hell House wasn't the first tragedy that happened in this town, and there was a haunted hayride at this festival in the early 2000s that a tragedy struck. It doesn't come into play again, so I really don't know what that's about. It literally never comes up again. After they walk through there, and Russell mentions this was an old fairground and there was a haunted hayride there and everything, never brought up again. So I don't know what that was about, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't with this movie. And they have a discussion about believing in God, and Vanessa says that she doesn't believe in God. Russell says he used to not believe in those type of things, but something changed for him, and now he does. She asks if he was a born-again Christian or something, and he's like, no, it's not what you're thinking. So there's definitely something up with Russell Wynn here. And they find Brock Davies from the second film, the paranormal investigator, who was full of himself and everything, and he was using the planchette from the Ouija board type thing in the room, and then the ghosts attack him and the cameraman. They find his planchette on the ground. How did it get there? It was in the hotel. It was in that room when they got up and started running out after they saw that girl ghost. How is it in these fucking fairgrounds? Who knows how far from the hotel? Come on. That makes no sense. That's so stupid. It just feels so contrived. It feels like it's just trying to make just connections to the last movie for no reason, that make no sense at all. And it is totally apparent that is what they're trying to do. We learned that Russell was in a car accident years ago and was pretty much pronounced dead, and they worked on him, brought him back to life. And then we have this drunk chick who they were all drinking one night and partying, all the actors and actresses, and one of them dares her to go into the basement and kiss one of the clown mannequins. Who the fuck would do this, man? Come on. And they even interview these actors and actresses at the beginning, saying have you seen the Hell House documentary and you know what happened here and everything? First of all, when are people gonna fucking learn, man? There's been so much evidence of weird supernatural shit happening at this hotel now for years and years and years. Even before Hell House, with the rumors of Tully and the satanic cult and stuff that went back a few decades before Hell House even opened there. And then we have the whole fucking thing that happened on opening night at Hell House, and the people were dead and never found again. Then we have the last movie with the investigative team that goes in, and they've been missing all this time, plus the videos of other people on YouTube and stuff that never came out. And come on. When do people learn in these movies? It's you could never get me into that hotel. And like I said in the last or the first review, one of them, I said, just looking at that hotel, I would not set fucking foot in there. But these people just, after hearing all the history about this hotel, fine, let's just go in and make some play that we can... I don't know, man. It makes no sense to me. It's so fucking dumb. What else is here? I got nothing else to say, basically. We have this girl, the makeup girl, who's attacked by Sarah Havel's ghost. We see her, Sarah, standing in the hallway, and everybody says, "Hi, are you there?" And she walks into a room, and of course she follows her in there, and she gets attacked. Why they don't kill her, especially after what we see in the ending here, but she just survives this somehow and ends up quitting and leaving, and then they have to recast her. Not recast because she's a makeup artist, but like get another makeup artist and stuff. And Russell just keeps on pushing on towards opening night and ignoring all of this. Jeff, the manager, is starting to say this is getting dangerous and like we should really start thinking about what to do here. Harvey, the gay artistic expressionist guy or whatever, head of operations, who I really enjoy in this movie, he's saying the same thing, saying something's definitely going on here, and yet these people do not leave, they do not quit, they just keep on going until opening night. It's so ridiculous. Come on. Let's see. Again, I had to write down, this movie is like a third part clip from the first two movies. Like, we get it. Like, anytime they show like anything in this movie, like they show the bar and stuff like that, and then they have to show a clip of from the first movie of them hanging out at the bar, and then they show the basement or something, and we see a conversation between the Hell House members in the basement, and it's like, we're not idiots, man. Like we know what happened. We know the bar scene. We know all these locations. Like, I think I know this hotel is better than Mitchell in the second movie, who knew it inside and out at this point. Like, you put me in this hotel, I'll fucking give you a tour all over the place. Like, I know this hotel in and out now after these three movies, especially after rewatching them back to back like this. It's like, come on, it's just ridiculous. And Harvey, like I said, the gay head of artistic operations, is like the only voice of reason in this movie. We had one in the other movie, and Tony in the first movie. That seemed to be the only people who were just like, yo, something's wrong, we should like definitely stop what we're doing and get out of here. But yet he just stays, and like he brings it up, and he says we should so this is definitely something going wrong, and then mentions the makeup artist. I think I wrote her name down. Isabel, her name is, says that he's known Isabel for years and she would never just get up and leave and quit and stuff like that, and they're trying to think of a story to tell the actors and actresses for why she left and everything, and they don't want to cause panic and everything. I don't know, man. And then we get these, this is so stupid. We get these pictures of, we meet the old dude again from the first movie, who, again, I still have no idea who this guy is, what he does, where he came from. Like, it doesn't matter. But unless like every time that he appears on screen in the first movie and in this for interviews and stuff, I'm taking notes or something, and I miss like a little text saying exactly who he is the first time they show him, it's possible. But I mean, I have no idea who this guy is. It's just some old dude who just like seems to be obsessed with this hotel and knows all the history and stuff. So they bring him back for some reason, and he starts saying about if anybody's seen Isabel, the makeup artist's social media photos, there's some interesting stuff in there that you can see in the background. They show three pictures. Like, one is her like posing like in front of the like wine racks and stuff like that, and you see Mac from the first movie's head like in the background right behind the wine racks. Like, it's not like it's in the background or you gotta look for it. His face is like right fucking there, man. It's like anyone who sees these pictures is gonna be immediately like, oh, cute picture, but who's that right there? Like, it's not like it's hidden or like it's something out of the corner of the frame that you can miss. And then there's just this ridiculous one where she's in the attic and taking a picture, and literally Alex is from the first movie's hanging body is right behind her. Like, literally center fucking frame. Right behind her. Like, it was like she's taking a picture with a hanging dude behind her. And no one notices this on her social media accounts and says like, why are you taking a picture with a dead dude hanging from the ceiling? Like, oh, come on, it makes no sense. It's so ridiculous. Oh man, what a terrible movie to end this franchise with. It was such a good first film. The sequel is very enjoyable for me, and then just this, like, that's a shame. It really is. When we get the only real freaky thing in this movie, where Vanessa's like walking through heaven. They have like this room that's set up like all white sheets and everything with like angel mannequins and stuff that they call heaven. and she's walking through and stuff, and then she's like trying to go to the bathroom or something, and she's using the camera, and she sees a face in the distance, and it zooms in, and it's Jessica Fox from the news, the investigative journalist from the second film, and it's just like her demonic ghost face and stuff, and she freaks the hell out, obviously, but doesn't leave, doesn't quit, nothing like that. And Louis, the cameraman, he says that he saw on the footage exactly what she saw. So they have proof of this. That's another thing. Like, between these three movies, of all the footage that they show on these documents, these people should be so famous for discovering, like, the first true, real evidence of supernatural activity and everything, and they should have book deals and everything like that. Nothing. It's just like, they just wave it off all the time. It's just like, yeah, no, she just saw something and stuff. They even refer to when Jeff says, when Vanessa and the cameraman first get to the hotel and start filming everything and interviewing people, she says that she thought she saw something out of the corner of her eye. And he says, yeah, that's just abaddon eyes, as we call it. Everybody seems to think eyes are on them or they see something that's not really there. Abaddon eyes? Fuck you. Are you serious? Come on. Abaddon eyes. Get out of here. That's so ridiculous. And she ends up, after seeing Jessica's ghost and stuff like that, her face, which, like I said, is the only, like, anywhere near creepy or eerie scene in the movie. It's well done. Like, I like the backdrop of heaven and stuff with the light and everywhere and the angel props and stuff, and then the cool shot of Jessica's ghost and everything. It's a good scene. And she doesn't want to quit because she doesn't want to seem like she couldn't handle the job, and she couldn't handle being the New Morning Mysteries girl, especially because she's a female in a journalist market and stuff that's primarily male, and she doesn't want to hear all the sexist comments and stuff, that she couldn't handle the job and stuff. So that's her reason for staying, basically. Then we have the scene with Harvey with the light tests, and that's another thing. Like, with the scenes in this movie, like the scare scenes, it's just unlike they weren't like really original in the last one, and there were some pretty original ideas in the first one, but like these, you just know what's going to happen before like anything happens at all. Like, as soon as, like, he says, I cue the lights, shut them off, you know there's going to be a ghost behind him or something. And then it says, turn on the red light, and the red light turns on, and of course there's a female ghost behind him, and then turns on another light, and then the lights go off, and then she touches him on the back, and he's like, who the hell is that? And then he says, turn the lights back on, there's no one in the room, and the guy says, are you alright? And Harvey's like, yeah, I'm alright. Alright, let's do it again. Let's do it again? You just felt somebody touch your shoulder in a room that's empty. I can't. It's ridiculous. And we have Jeff, the manager guy, eavesdropping on one of the actors that's having a conversation with some unknown girl. And like, he's listening to what she's saying, and she starts saying, like, I think you're really going to like it here. And then ends up, her voice turns like demonic and says, like, you're all going to hell. And then Jeff turns around the corner, and there's no girl sitting across from this guy at the table. They were sitting right at the table together, and the actor's all confused. He's like, you didn't see the girl? She was like sitting right in front of me, and stuff like that. No, and Jeff didn't hear her say, nobody heard, the guy right in front of her didn't hear her say, you're all going to hell, in a demonic voice. Come on. Like, it's just so many ridiculous things in this movie. Like I said, it's sad that this is how they ended this trilogy. Like, they could have done so much better and thought of so many different things, but we got what we got. So we gotta just make the best of it and pick the good things out, right? As I always say. So Jeff tells Russell that the way that the actor described this girl that he was talking to, it sounds just like Sarah Havel from the first movie. Then again, we get clips of Sarah from the first movie, and then her dying at the end of the first movie, and another shot of her. It's like, we know who fucking Sarah is. Why are you showing us all these clips? We're not fucking idiots. Like, they do this through the whole film. Like I said, like a third of this movie is just clips from the first two that are just showing just shit we know already. Like, and that's one thing I hate about movies, like especially with horror movies and stuff, when they just treat the audience like a complete fucking idiot. And have to exposition everything and have to like explain everything like we're 5 years old and we have no attention span or attention to detail or anything like that. It's such a gripe for me. So this really bothered me. Like seeing all these things, it's like, we know who Sarah is. Trust me, I think she's gorgeous. She ain't getting out of my mind anytime soon. Trust me. Like, I know who she is. I don't need to see a montage of her from the first movie to be like, oh, is that Sarah chick again? Oh, thanks for putting that in there, because I would have never remembered her after watching all three of these movies back to back all day. Oh, God, I don't know. So Russell tells Vanessa that they're at like a bar or something for the night, and Russell tells Vanessa that she shouldn't come. Her and the cameraman shouldn't come opening night, the next night. And she's like immediately taken aback, saying like, it's the whole reason you hired us. Like, is there something wrong? And he's like, no, nothing's wrong. And he just gets up and leaves and tells to the bartender, just have everybody charge the drinks to Jeff and everything, and they'll be taken care of. So Vanessa obviously knows that something's up. So she goes to revisit that priest from the very beginning, and she starts asking if Russell's been having any money issues or been moving around large amounts of money or paying the priest off and stuff like that. And he's like, I can't really tell you this. So she tells Louis, the cameraman, to lower the camera and then shut it off, but he just lowers it. So she says it's off the record. And he ends up telling her that at midnight, Russell plans to liquidate all his assets and basically just disperse it all to a bunch of different charities. So we know Russell knows what's happening on opening night that night, and we find out why a little later, which is still a little ridiculous. So after that, Vanessa actually breaks a lot of journalistic rules and everything, and she ends up posting online about Russell's finances, which goes viral online, like within an hour. Like, it's on the news and everything, saying that Russell's liquidating his assets and stuff, and even though the actors and actresses see it on the TV, and they all look at Vanessa and they're all like, we're not getting paid. Like, what the hell's going on? And Jeff runs up to ask Russell about it. And he says, I can do whatever I want with my money. Don't tell me how to spend my money or do with whatever I want with my money. And so, I don't know. It's just not good. It's just really not good. And we see footage showing Russell was in the bar the day from the last movie that Molly and Jessica were in. We see him entering the bar. They're entering out. So it's trying to show that Russell was there, and for some reason, I don't know, like, I really don't know, like, what that was about, like, why even show that? So, like, this guy was at the bar when they were, I guess it's trying to show the domino effect, like they were expanded upon in the last movie, how just all these events are orchestrated way ahead of time to lead up to certain events and everything, and that the hotel basically lures people in and everything like that. I'm guessing. I mean, besides that, it makes no sense to me. Then we have the opening night when the play goes on as planned, and we get to suffer through some of this play. And like I said, I hate plays. I just never did anything for me. So for me, watching that was like, all right, can we just get done with this movie already? And Tully appears to Russell, which, thank God to see him. Well, I guess, like, thank the devil to see Tully. But again, gives a great little performance in the few scenes that he's in at the end of this movie. And Tully shows up in the middle of the play, like when everyone's watching, and like two of the actors are giving dialogue to each other, and he just leans on the table and says, like, the devil just can't take souls like that. And like, someone mentions the word God, and he's like, God is not here. And then the lights go off and all hell breaks loose. Now, this is a cool ending. Like, it is. Like, it's probably, besides that scene I mentioned earlier, it's a good ending. It's probably my favorite thing that happens in this movie. And we just have all hell breaking loose, and a ton of the cult ghosts end up rushing out of the basement, which we know is like the source of all this satanic and supernatural shit, and start massacring everybody. Everybody just gets brutally murdered. Like, it turns into like a ghost slasher film at the end of this movie. Like in the first movie with the malfunction and everything that they keep calling it, and then we finally see at the end of the movie what happened. We still don't really see what happened. We just see the cult ghost come out and like stand in front of people, and like then we know that they died or they got stuck in the hotel, and people running around and shit. This, we see people getting their throats cut. We see people getting stabbed to death. There's blood all over the walls, up in heaven, the room, heaven in the building with the white everywhere. Fucking blood sprayed all over the white walls. It looks awesome. Like, it does. It doesn't look half bad at all. It's like they could have done so many better things with this movie and leading up to this ending, and it would have worked a lot better for me. Like, for sure. Like, it's a very cool ending. Like, just seeing all these people just get hacked up and murdered by these cult ghosts and everything. And during all this chaos, Vanessa hides behind the bar, and she thinks she's safe. So, like I said, she gets up, and there's just blood everywhere, all over the place. It's like the walls were tan, they're fucking red now. Like, everywhere. And then we just have her getting dragged down to the basement by one of the cult ghosts, and she gets her throat slit. And she just falls to the ground. Vanessa's dead, apparently. Then Tully says, like, who are you? And Russell ends up running towards him. And they get in a struggle, and fire breaks out of the ground. And, like, the hotel ends up going on fire and burning to the ground. And the CG is just bad, like in that scene with the fire coming up, and bad CGI. But it's a found footage movie. I mean, like I said, a lot of these nitpicks and stuff, it's a found footage film. So it's a low budget found footage film, and the third movie of a decently popular found footage franchise. So it's not like I can say too much bad about it. Well, I can, trust me, and I just did a whole bunch for the last 25 minutes, but certain things, like, you can't really give them too much shit for. And basically, by Russell attacking Tully and stuff, he ends up closing the gateway to hell, and we find out why in the next scene that basically, with some more interviews with the random old man and stuff, basically, when he got in the car accident, what people didn't know is that he was pronounced dead for 2 minutes. So the whole theory and idea here is that, and Vanessa mentions this quote that the priest says earlier about when she talks to her about the gateway to hell, saying that no man can close the gateway, only an angel from God could do that. So the whole idea is that when Russell Wynn died in the car accident and was dead for 2 minutes, he went to the other side and was sent back as an angel to battle Tully and stop his reign of terror and just close down the gateway to hell. I mean, it's whatever, man. It's alright, and I get it, and it plays into, like I said, into the play of Faust and stuff, and the whole God versus the devil and good versus evil thing. It could have worked, like I said, if they just like went about this whole movie like completely differently. Like, I don't know. And then we get the final scene there with Wynn basically frees all the souls of the Hell House members, and they all wake up like they're alive, sort of, like in the hotel, and they try to leave and they can't. And Wynn shows up and says, you guys can't leave, and you died here, so like we can't leave. He even mentions himself, like, we can't leave. And they're like, who are you? He's like, I'm the one who closed the gateway, and he looks at Alex, he's like, that you helped open. And so now they're trapped in this hotel, but there's no more evil, so they just are in like their own little version of heaven, I guess, up there, like in the hotel, and they end up just going to have drinks, and Alex is like hysterical, crying in Sarah's arms, like he just can't believe this all happened and everything, and that's it. Like, that's the end of the movie. And let's see if I missed anything real quick. Yeah, so this still makes no sense, because we see Vanessa get killed in the basement of the hotel, and then after the gateway's closed, like, and the sun comes up and everything, then her and Jeff are outside the hotel, and he makes a comment saying, like, I thought I died. And I don't remember seeing him get killed, but apparently he did in the hotel. And she says that Russell brought them back. Okay, cool. So why are they not trapped in the hotel? The Hell House crew is. Win is. They can't leave, even though there's no evil left anymore. It's their heaven, which, I mean, who the hell wants their heaven to be some creepy ass hotel that they were in trying to make some haunted house in and stuff? And even if there was a heaven and all this shit, there would be, after a while, I mean, if you want to go play into it, that heaven goes on for eternity and shit. After a little while, like, you would just be done. You would just be like, please just end it. Like, please just kill me. I can't take anything anymore. Like, I don't know. And this is their little version of heaven, I guess, that they're all together as friends and stuff. So it works. But how are Vanessa and Jeff still alive and allowed to leave and stuff like that? They died in the hotel, just like the Hell House members. Just like, and they don't even show Mitchell or Jessica or Molly from the second film. So they're still like just dead, and like it doesn't make sense at all. But I mean, that's the end of the Hell House LLC franchise. Like I said, very good, fun, found footage first movie, and I enjoy the second one a lot. And yeah, this movie sucks. So that's it for the found footage Friday, and tomorrow I will be doing some of my favorite 80s slasher films, and Sunday I'm going to dive into some Lucio Fulci. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.